bit lower for air show flying.
There are many options when designing an aerobatic sequence for performance. Malidor enjoys T-Max and believes that airshow organizers feel the same.
Organizers like formation aerobatic teams because there's more activity going on. It's more excitement, it's more dynamic. Instead of just one airplane with 360 horse, you got over 1,200 horsepower with 4 propellers going. So it sounds a lot better, and there's something happening constantly.
So what does Malidor hope crowds take away from an airshow act?
I would just want them to be thrilled and wowed by the excitement, and just putting a smile on everybody's face where they, some of the things that were going on were, very interesting, very close calls with airplanes. So it seems from the crowd perspective, of course, it was very choreographed on our side of the fence, but it was just a lot of fun. I wouldn't have traded it for anything.
That's Jerry Malidor, former airshow pilot for the Phillips 66 Aerostars team and president emeritus of the International Aerobatic Club. From all of us at EAA Radio, we hope you enjoyed the show. For EAA Radio News, I'm Kevin Whalen.
Taking the active live from 1-8 right, we're cleared for departure on EAA Radio.
Cleared for departure on EAA Radio, live from the announcer stand. I'm Kevin Whalen.
I'm Eric White.
And I'm Tony Dyer.
And we just now have the Candy Bomber starting up just north of Show Center here on the announcer stand, right at Boeing Plaza. Aircraft still trailing up for departure.
And we got Doc up above as well, the B-29 Super Fortress.
Baron on the takeoff roll right now. That looks like a 55 Baron, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct. Yeah. That's cool. Here we got Doc overhead, the Ford Trimotor taxiing on the other runway, the C-54 firing up. This is what Oshkosh is all about. There's a Bonanza taxiing out to departure. Kind of a bittersweet moment. The Bonanza will be celebrating its 80th anniversary next year, but the very last Bonanza to be built was just delivered a few weeks ago. They've ended production starting in 1947 until I think it was May of this year. The last Bonanza came off the assembly line.
I'm sure that's an aircraft that's not going away anytime soon, but it is definitely a bittersweet end to an aircraft that will leave a legacy that's touched many. My first flight was actually in a V-tail Bonanza with a gentleman that I met here in Oshkosh. We just by chance happened to be camping next to his dad, who introduced us, and found out that we lived not too far from each other. So another thing of what Oshkosh is all about, connections and community, and he helped, ended up taking myself and my dad up for a flight and kept the ball rolling from there. But that is the first hour and the first signature in my logbook.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah. And nice teal and white paint on this, is that Beach 18 taxiing out right up past Papa 2, taxiing north.
And just listening to the DC-4 idle, we were talking about this in the campground, that if we could get a generator that could sound like that, people would want you to leave it on all night, because I could listen to that all week.
Everywhere would be a 24-hour generator zone. Yeah, it's such a deep roar, but it's definitely a very unique sound that's enjoyable. Hopefully our mics are picking it up just a little bit, but if not, and if you're still on the grounds, head towards Boeing Plaza, Show Center, to take a look before it departs, and I'm sure everyone will be able to see it. I don't know if they'll do a pass before they leave or not, but it is a very historic airplane and a very nice paint with a unique opportunity to see it here.
Yeah, it was lovely to see the formation of the IT and the Red Bulls one, to actually show the differences between the two aircraft types.
And a huge thank you to Red Bull for bringing their DC-6 and the P-38. That P-38 has a long-standing history with Oshkosh. It was owned by Lefty Gardner for a number of years. Attended the show back in the 70s and 80s. Of course, it was a very, very successful Reno air racer. And Red Bull acquired it after Lefty had a fire in the airplane and it was badly damaged. And they bought the airplane and did an absolutely magnificent restoration. Yeah. And it's the first time it's been back at Oshkosh, and what a spectacular airplane and a beautiful display they put on with it.
Yeah, it's very difficult to pick your highlight. If you were told to pick one highlight, it would be very difficult to pick it.
Oh, yeah. Every day was a highlight, and this week has absolutely flown by, pardon the pun. It feels like we just got here. There goes the T-1 heading back to Vance Air Force Base in Enid, Oklahoma. The military trainer version of the Beechjet Beech 400. But yeah, the highlights, and every day had a different highlight, and it's been a fantastic week. The people are still, I think I would say the people are the highlight. I've been coming here pretty much all my life. I say I'm a lifetime member because I've been a member all my life, and I am actually a lifetime member. But I come back for the people. This, to me, is I'll work on Christmas, but I'm going to Oshkosh.
You know, I hear that. It's 1 week of the year that you can't miss. And I was joking with my friends earlier that there are two types of people in aviation, those at Oshkosh and those who have to work during Oshkosh. And some people are working at Oshkosh, but a lot of people, if they can make it, they can. And we try to provide some coverage for those who can't make it. If you're listening from afar, thank you for tuning in. We hope you've enjoyed the show just as much as we have this year as we wrap up our final segment. But the air show is not over just yet. Like we were talking about, there's still one more air show today. There's still things to be seen on the ground. So not yet ready to wrap up.
Yeah, lots to see and do. If it starts getting hot, a lot of people don't even think about it. But your admission wristband allows you admission to the EAA Museum. If you have not been to the museum, it's a phenomenal collection. Worth heading out there. And don't forget, there's Pioneer Airport over there. There's Kid Venture. If you're here with young people, they have a phenomenal kids program out at Pioneer Airport called Kid Venture, and there's projects, there's models, there's a ton of stuff to do.
Yeah, I think that's one thing that's very important as well. You can see the legacy is being handed on to future generations, which I think is, well, not legacy, I mean the sheer fun of it all, let's face it. Future generations get to do it with Kid Adventure. There's so many things for the youngsters to do and get into what is, well, I'm biased, but this is the best hobby in the world.
Absolutely.
Discovery will look a little bit different next year, too, with Kid Venture moving to its new home in Discovery Park with the Aviation Gateway Center, incorporating educational programming and hands-on programming. Pretty much everything except for the control line flying, which they don't have the space to do that. I'm not sure if that'll still be at Pioneer, but while we're talking to it, looks like a turbine commander out in front of us taxiing across the announcer stand.
Yeah, that's quite an aircraft as well.
Another Bonanza and a Mooney, which I've always been fascinated by Moonies too, how sporty they are. They seem like a cool airplane to fly. And there's also movement going on down in Warbirds. Little far for me to tell from the stand, but I can see a couple airplanes taxiing around as the tri-motor taxis pass too. So plenty to see, but there is quite a crowd that's drawn now watching the Candy Bomber.
We've got a very nice, I think that's a Fairchild.
Fairchild 24, yep.
Yeah.
You guys called it the Argus. Fairchild 24.
And that's got the Ranger engine, hasn't it?
Yep.
Which is
nice.
Inline.
Nice yellow paint job too. Certainly turn the sky. I can always appreciate an aircraft with a good paint job. You get a lot of airplanes that are just white with a couple of stripes, and there's nothing wrong with that. But if it's got a cool color, or like the RJ Gritter's airplane, red, white, and blue, like the Decathlon Starburst paint scheme, it's always fun to see some unique paint on aircraft.
Yeah, and that's another reason I like the Bearcat. I love yellow anyway, but again, the Argus was put into service in the UK, and a lot were bought and a lot were pressed into service from the civil. So it had quite a mix and match of aircraft put in for liaison and taxiing during the war.
Well, not just in England. The airplane was pressed into service here in the U.S., and they flew anti-submarine patrol off the east coast of the United States. So you can imagine being in the Fairchild 100 miles offshore looking for U-boats.
Yeah.
They would strap a bomb
single engine.
between the gear. Yeah, it was crazy.
And Eric, I would agree that the conversations are some of the best parts, probably definitely a highlight of AirVenture. Being able to talk to people. It was a lot of fun. This was my second year working news with EAA Radio, and it was so much fun to just go around and try and talk to people, interview. Also spoke with some people down at the International Visitors Tent, because this truly is an event that brings people from all around the world. They have the Parade of Countries on Friday that goes from the tent to right here at the announcer stand. As of Thursday, their numbers were a little bit down, but I would like to check those numbers again, because they sounded pretty optimistic that they would have more people come by the tent that just hadn't visited to register yet. There is a lot to see, but it brings people from all around the world. You never know who you're going to run into or what unique story you're going to hear.
We just got a text message from one of our listeners at home, and he said we can hear the C-54 in the background.
That's good. Yeah, so we hope you're all enjoying that sound.
Oh, there goes the Corsair.
I don't think I've ever seen a Corsair with a yellow cowling like that.
Yeah, it's the sort of South Asia, so it's a Royal Navy, and that used to be at Duxford with the fighter collection at Duxford for years and years and years. So it's like an old friend to me to see it over here.
Duxford's a beautiful museum. I've had the opportunity to go there while I was a student in college, and seeing history there, it is definitely a little bit different than in the U.S. Excellent museum, and they have their own airstrip at Duxford as well, correct?
Yes, they do. Yeah, it's got everything. It's like a mini EAA, I suppose, and there's lots of volunteering activities as well. You've got the American Air Museum there as well, where it's got lots, and that was certain people like George Bush went there, and Charlton Heston when it opened. It's a very historic airfield because it was opened before the war, and it had RAF, and then it had the 78th Fighter Group, I believe, with the checkerboard P-47s and P-51 Mustangs. So it's got a lot of history for America and the UK. So it's great.
It has some movie-making history as well, doesn't it?
Oh yes, yeah. They filmed a series called Piece of Cake there, which was based on a squadron in the early part of the war, and they certainly based B-17s there for Memphis Belle for a part of that. And the most important one was the Battle of Britain film, where they actually blew up one of the precious First World War hangars, and when they were told not to, allegedly. I better say that quickly.
Oh dear.
But it was amazing. They're very beautiful hangars, truss hangars, basically, over there, and that film is epic.
Museums, fly-ins, all sorts of ways to scratch the aviation itch. If you've come to Oshkosh or been inspired at Oshkosh, fallen in love, or for some back in love with aviation, ways to keep the aviation interest going and keep engaged throughout the year. We would certainly encourage you to stay involved with aviation. Find your nearest EAA chapter. Find an airport that's hosting a fly-in or a pancake breakfast. Eric, another way to stay involved if you have one?
Become an EAA member. Get the magazine. You get a dose of Oshkosh every month. Hang out with, become a member of a local EAA chapter. That's kind of an aviation support group, and there's chapters around the world. You can go to the website and find one close to you. But being part of a chapter is a really fantastic way to do that.
Yeah, support your aviation heritage, your local museum as well, and that's always good.
Tony, any other parting thoughts aside from that?
No, I just think it's fantastic, and hopefully I'll be here next year and finally get to ride the Tri-Motor, which would be good.
Well, thank you everyone for listening. If you're on the flight line, we hope you're enjoying the departures. We hope you've enjoyed the show just as much as I have. And keep involved with aviation. Keep the passion alive. Keep flying. Stay around. Keep learning more. Keep reading more. Keep doing more. I know I will. This has been Cleared for Departure. I'm Kevin Whalen.
I'm Eric White.
And I'm Tony Dye.
For EAA Radio, signing off.
Radio, 96.5 FM, 1210 AM, and online at eaaradio.net.
Green Bay Austin Straubel International Airport is proud to sponsor EAA Radio. They look forward to visiting with you in Hangar C while you're here. GRB is just 50 minutes north of Oshkosh. 2 FBOs with 280,000 feet of hangar space, fuel, and maintenance on site. 5 major airlines serve 11 nonstop routes, and all major car rental brands. Enjoy EAA and explore all that Northeast Wisconsin has to offer. FlyGRB.com.
Good afternoon, AirVenture. I'm meteorologist Jack Huseman, and this is your final day forecast. Our highs are in the 80s, feeling like the 90s. Wind is out of the south-southwest, 5 to 9 knots. Our AQ is in the moderate. Partly cloudy, that sun's peeking through occasionally, and a chance for some overnight storms this evening. The UV is in the 7, so if you're on the grounds today, make sure you have some sunscreen. I'm meteorologist Jack Huseman. Thank you for listening to EAA Radio, and thank you for a great week.
EAA Radio wants to hear from you. Hang on. Yes. Whoa. Hey, guys, hang on. Not all at once, guys. Hang on. Stop. Wait. Stop. Take a number. The EAA Radio text line is your direct link to all your favorite EAA Radio shows and personalities. Got a question for our hosts? Found something cool on the grounds? Just want to say hi? You can text our studios now at 920-550-1210.
Every day, EAA AirVenture Oshkosh presents informative forums and workshops on aviation topics. You'll find forums and workshops all around the grounds of AirVenture Oshkosh. Most are at the forum and workshop area just north of the control tower. Others are inside the vintage hangar, the aeroplane factory, EAA Museum, Warbirds, and some are conducted as part of Women Venture. And there are forums presented more than once to help you with scheduling. With so many options, how do you choose? Use the EAA AirVenture mobile app on your iPhone or Android device to plan your schedule. See the daily forum schedule in the AirVenture Today newspaper or visit airventure.org and look for Plan Your Trip. There's a learning opportunity at AirVenture Oshkosh for every kind of aviation enthusiast. Visit the forums and see for yourself.
And now, it's time for etiquette songs.
Some of the planes you'll see are antiques. Others have finished that took people weeks. Before you decide to start feeling up airplanes, it doesn't take much. Ask before you touch.
Ask before you touch the airplanes. A message from the EAA AirVenture Oshkosh etiquette team. Welcome. It's high noon in Oshkosh, and this is Squawk 1200. Squawk 1200 brings you in-depth conversations with exhibitors, government officials, and many other special guests here at AirVenture.
Bill Barry, NASA Chief Historian.
I'm Captain Gene Cernan, commander of Apollo 17.
Captain Sully Sullenberger of Flight 1549.
I'm Dave Coulier.
If you want to be in the know, you need to. Squawk 1200.
Welcome to EAA Radio. I'm Wireless Mike.
And I'm Matthew. And for this segment today, we are joined by Darren Smedsmo. Darren joins us with a very interesting and unique story. Darren, welcome.
Good afternoon, guys.
So I heard you might have had a little bit of an emergency with your airplane. Can you tell us about what happened and how you handled it?
Yeah, back in October last year, I was heading down to Bemidji from my home in Roseau, down to my first IFR training session, and about 20 minutes out, over 2,500 feet over Lower Red Lake, my engine seized up, and thankfully I was within coasting distance of land. I set up an approach to Highway 89 there, and 2.5 minutes I was on the ground, unharmed, and the airplane was just fine as well.
Yeah, so great story. Great story.
Happy ending.
Everything happened. It went great. Then what happened?
Then the tribal police showed up on the scene, and we got the airplane off the road, got traffic passing, and all was well. They left the scene. I talked to my wife, told her I was fine. Since I was fine, she was fine. I talked to my flight instructor. I said, I'm not going to be making it today, unfortunately. And then I called AOPA and said, hey, I just had an emergency landing. I'm fine. Plane's fine. Just an FYI. I was... everybody left the scene. I was there. I was going to wait with my plane until I'd arranged an A&P to come and get the plane, take it apart. And sitting in the cockpit, it was 45 degrees, nice fall day for Roseau. Sitting up there, filling out my logbook, and the tribal police came back to the scene and said, got bad news for you. We're seizing the plane.
And why? What was their justification?
He gave me a ticket at the time for an airspace infraction. They claim the airspace up to 20,000 feet. It's a resolution from back in 1978, a tribal resolution that is non-published, non-public, so there's no way that anybody, including me, could have known about.
Now, did you even know you were over tribal land at the time?
Oh yeah, I've driven through that area many times. I've driven on that road many times.
Okay, but only because you're familiar with the area.
Oh, right. It's not marked on the sectional, not on the NOTAMs. It's just like any other air over the United States.
Would it be even practical to be on the charts? Is it a continuous area? How would we know?
Well, I call it the contiguous Red Lake Nation. That's a big chunk, but also across northern Minnesota, there are hundreds, maybe thousands of little chunks, 80s, 160s, all over northern Minnesota. It'd be impossible to fly without going over their land.
And also, all of what is the legal justification for the airspace? Who actually owns that?
Well, of course, we know as pilots, the FAA controls all the airspace over the United States.
So, this didn't seem to be going in a great direction, and but fortunately, you called AOPA.
Yeah. So the cop left, and they were making their arrangements. Of course, at that time, I had nothing to say or do. I'm a man without a country, basically, because I'm on the Red Lake Indian Reservation. Now I realize they have no criminal jurisdiction over me. They do have the civil jurisdiction, so they couldn't throw me in jail. And of course, they didn't ever charge me with something like something bad. So they had they had civil jurisdiction, not criminal jurisdiction. So they, I didn't know what they were doing, but I knew that they were seizing it. I had talked to an A&P. That it was gonna take it apart and haul it away, and then I talked to him, told him what was up. He wanted nothing to do with it at that point. So they brought a trailer in. That wasn't going to work. They brought a tow truck in. That wasn't going to work. And I was out of the loop then. I didn't know what they were going to do. They eventually got a big roll-off truck, like was over at the booth here, loaded the whole thing on, 33 feet wide, and eventually made their way into town. And I was in the squad car behind the procession.
And then there was a big, how do you get your airplane back? And you went to AOPA, and how were they able to help you?
Well, they've advocated for me since the very beginning. I just can't say enough. Right away, I had a court date of November 3rd, and so that was a couple weeks out. And I called lots and lots of lawyers. I probably talked to 24 lawyers, and of course, almost all of them couldn't practice on Red Lake, and the others didn't want to. And so at that point, I was ready to defend myself in tribal court. Well, then one of the lawyers that I talked to said, "You've got an ace in the hole here. The media doesn't know about this. Since I didn't bleed, the story didn't lead." Now, pilots knew about it because it did hit pilot press before then, and of course the tribes knew about it, but the general public didn't. So whether I went to the press or they came to me, and both happened, it went. What do you say? Viral.
Yeah.
It went viral. It went cross country, all across the world. And it was at that point that the tribe reached out to me on Halloween, October 31st, and said, "Court is off. Wait for something in the mail." Now, they had 45 days due process to charge me with something or whatever it was. The other thing that they did on Friday the 31st was said, "Take that original ticket and tear it up." So in our legal system, if I get caught speeding, go to court, I can't get charged with beating my wife or something like that. That's not how our legal system works. But they told me to wait and I'll get something in the mail. I never got anything in the mail. So what was I supposed to do? They sent out some press releases. The next press release said, of course, it wasn't airspace related at that time. At that point, they said that I was a threat to their people and their resources. Now, for me to be a threat to you, you have to be in my presence, right?
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah.
If I'm swinging a sword in my backyard all by myself, I'm no threat. So I landed on a desolate highway. Nobody was there. I wasn't a threat to anybody, and I wasn't a threat to their resources. I didn't hurt a bug or a blade of grass.
And you actually did the safest thing by not crashing.
Right.
I mean, you did everything right.
I had either the lake, which I was over, the swamp, or the highway. You've been on the road.
Yeah. It's if you're not familiar with northern Minnesota, there's some very barren areas.
It
up
is
there.
desolate country. I just went over probably 30 miles of swamp.
Yeah. So the fact that you were over the road at that time was a little saving grace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's talk about how AOPA helped you get to a successful resolution. What happened after that led towards where we are today?
Well, here's kind of the goofy situation was the government was in government shutdown at the time. So I maybe talked to, I've talked to a few FAA people through the process, but for the most part, AOPA was doing my advocating at the highest levels. And of course, they wrote a couple letters to Duffy and to Burgum, Department of Interior and Department of Transportation. But they were doing all the advocating on the highest levels. And I say it's kind of like God is always working behind the scenes.
Mm-hmm.
The FAA was, and the other organizations were working behind the scenes, even when it didn't look like it.
Mm.
So, real quick, did any other Indian? Because there's lots of Indian tribes, and I think that's something that we have to be make sure that's clear that this is one Indian tribe, and there are lots of other Indian tribes. Were the other Indian tribes supporting this position?
Not to my knowledge. Now, I haven't really communicated with many other than John Harrington, the NASA astronaut, and he's a pilot, astronaut, He thinks that this is silly, and I just think up in Alaska or wherever else, without airplanes, the Indians would have a tough time up there.
Right, and they also use
depend
the
on 'em.
airplanes for med flights and other things.
Oh, right. Yeah, that right after this happened, and it came out that they are claiming the airspace. The medevac helicopters that service that area were like, we're out unless you make a carve out for us. So they did. So there's the medevac helicopters, but there's also firefighting helicopters. Now, I've talked to them personally, and so they can land on the reservation, but if they're coming up to Roseau, they're going around it as of now. Now, that's costing money, and it could be costing lives.
And safety.
Yeah. Well, we do appreciate you coming in and sharing a story. It's very interesting. It's something that I never would have even thought about flying, and I have flown over this area. And hopefully your bad luck on this, or good luck for a safe landing, can help us come to a resolution in all of that. Again, we've been talking to Darren Simodo, and you're listening to EAA Radio.
Hey everybody, we're Rob Riggle
and Jen Lilly,
the stars of the movie Jimmy.
And you're listening to EAA Radio.
Support for EAA Radio comes from Zeroni's. Zeroni's is a family restaurant with a superhero theme, featuring arcade games for kids and a full bar for adults, with a menu that specializes in pizza, mac and cheese, wings, and salads. Zeroni's is located in Oshkosh, Wisconsin, just north of the AirVenture grounds, with delivery to the grounds through Uber Eats and DoorDash. More information and a full menu can be found at zaronis.com.
Extra, extra, read all about it! AirVenture Today single-handedly revives the newspaper industry. Youth across America are throwing their smartphones into the ocean.
Keep up on all the EAA news and highlights with AirVenture Today, a free newspaper available to attendees during AirVenture Oshkosh. Copies are available throughout the convention, as well as on the campgrounds and the greater Oshkosh surrounding area. If you're not ready to embrace physical media, we got the digital version and archives at airventure.org.
This is EAA Radio News. I'm Kevin Whalen. AirVenture displays an impressive 9 air shows over the course of 7 days. Aerobatic acts thrill crowds with fast-paced precision maneuvers. Where do pilots learn to fly all those loops and rolls? Jerry Malador is a former airshow pilot from the Phillips 66 Aerostars team and President Emeritus of the International Aerobatic Club, IAC. Malador states that competition aerobatics are the starting point for many airshow pilots.
I would start with the IAC and their system, because that prepares you very well for air show flying in terms of sequence development, your figure acumen, what you can do safely and well. If you go up through the category system in the IAC all the way, you'll be fine for just about anything. And so then you can just concentrate on bringing it down a little bit lower for air show flying.
There are many options when designing an aerobatic sequence for performance. Malidor enjoys T-Max and believes that airshow organizers feel the same.
Organizers like formation aerobatic teams because there's more activity going on. It's more excitement, it's more dynamic. Instead of just one airplane with 360 horse, you got over 1,200 horsepower with 4 propellers going. So it sounds a lot better, and there's something happening constantly.
So what does Malidor hope crowds take away from an airshow act?
I would just want them to be thrilled and wowed by the excitement, and just putting a smile on everybody's face where they, some of the things that were going on were, very interesting, very close calls with airplanes. So it seems from the crowd perspective, of course, it was very choreographed on our side of the fence, but it was just a lot of fun. I wouldn't have traded it for anything.
That's Jerry Malidor, former airshow pilot for the Phillips 66 Aerostars team and president emeritus of the International Aerobatic Club. From all of us at EAA Radio, we hope you enjoyed the show. For EAA Radio News, I'm Kevin Whalen.
Looks like the pattern is wide open. It's Squawk 1200 on EAA Radio.
Welcome to EAA Radio. I'm Wireless Mike.
And I'm Matthew. And for this segment, we are joined by Lila Stein. Lila is the vice chair of the Pilot Mental Health Campaign. She is also a commercial pilot, CFI, aviation researcher, and flight operations specialist with NBAA. Welcome, Lila. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me.
So, you guys have been doing some really, really great work with the Pilot Mental Health Campaign and helping pilots who used to be, if you mentioned that you even talked to somebody about an issue, you'd be immediately grounded. And you guys are working to change all of that. How did this all start, and what are you currently working on with that?
Absolutely. So the Pilot Mental Health Campaign was founded in 2023, I believe, after a series of accidents and incidents happened that really opened the aviation world's eyes to the stigma and the crisis that we're having with in regards to mental health. I was graduating out of college at the time. We had just recently lost University of North Dakota student John Hauser, and I really felt this impacted my generation of pilots, and I didn't believe that it had to stay that way. So I found about the Pilot Mental Health Campaign from our founder, Brian Baumhoff, was brought onto the board of directors, and it's really been a rocket ship that took off from there. Within the first 6 months of our founding, we were testifying before the National Transportation Safety Board and had already had a first draft of what was now the Mental Health and Aviation Act, which was introduced into Congress then and is passed out of the House of Representatives today, and just recently came out of the Senate Commerce Committee and is poised for a Senate floor vote here soon.
So what is in that bill, and how will that affect pilots?
That's a really great question. So the Mental Health and Aviation Act codifies the 24 recommendations that came out of the 2024 Mental Health and Aviation Rulemaking Committee. So that committee was stood up in December of 2023 and challenged the aviation industry to think about how we want to talk about, treat mental health within our own community. And so we came out with 24 recommendations that were comprehensive. Everything from we believe that talk therapy should not have to be reported to let's talk about how we treat ADHD. We have a lot of young aviators coming up who are going to have this kind of treatment and diagnosis. So let's think about how we address it now so that we're prepared for those folks coming in later. So there's 24 recommendations that cover everything from what the FAA should do to what we as industry can do better, but they're they're recommendations. So the Mental Health and Aviation Act provides support, funding, and guidance for the FAA to turn those 24 recommendations into how they treat mental health today.
So prior to all of this, why was this a risk to pilots and to the community for not addressing these issues?
Absolutely. I think back to some of my first days as a private pilot, and we run through the I'm Safe checklist, right? One of the most important parts of being a pilot is ensuring that you are prepared to fly the aircraft. And part of that I'm Safe checklist is making sure that, you know, you've not taken any medications that'll affect you, you've gotten enough sleep, right? But you also want to be in the right headspace. You want to be able to handle any situation that comes at you. We just heard about an emergency landing, right? We want to be able to take that information in and handle it correctly. And so when we don't take care of ourselves, especially what's in between your 2 ears, right? That's the central system that our bodies are working off of. If we're not treating it right, how are we to expect anything else to function? So ensuring that you're receiving the health care that you need to be your best person, whether that's just, you know, I've had something crazy happen in my life and I need to talk it out with someone, right? I just need to seek some guidance and some advice to some very common conditions that we know that a large portion of our general population are affected by. We as pilots are also affected by. So why are we treating it as something we don't want to talk about when we know that it's affecting us and our ability to handle aircraft as well?
So both of you are professional pilots or have your career there. For someone that isn't a professional pilot, how does the Pilot Mental Health Campaign help us as pilots?
Absolutely, that's a really great question. So when we look at when we go on a vacation, right, we trust that those 2 or 4 people up at the front of the airplane know what they're doing, are in their best space to handle everyone else. I would much rather have a pilot who has had maybe a mental health struggle, received treatment for it, and is better off now, is safer up there at the front of the cockpit than someone who's trying to hide their struggles, right? That's a battle. It's a challenge to try and hide something, right, happening in your personal life, to not receive help, maybe be functioning at a less than optimal level because they don't believe that they can seek that help. I want someone who's gotten help, right, is better at the back end, and that's what I want myself, and that's what I want my family flying on an aircraft.
And do you reach out to VFR or not professional pilots to help them understand how they can improve their mental health?
Absolutely. That's a core part of our community. We all start our careers in general aviation, and I work with the National Business Aviation Association now, and it's more important that every level of pilot understands that their mental health is a crucial part of staying safe and being a healthy, functioning pilot.
So where is the bill right now in its progress, and what are you working on to try to get it through the finish line?
Absolutely. So I'm not a government affairs expert, but what I hear is we've passed out a Senate committee, so our next stop is a Senate floor vote. Once the Mental Health and Aviation Act gets through that Senate floor vote, which we're very excited about, is going to happen this Congress. It'll go to the president's desk to be signed, and we're very hopeful that by the end of this year we'll be able to see the Mental Health and Aviation Act. We've also got a companion bill, the Aviation Medication Transparency Act. It's got a little bit of a longer road, but we're excited. It's been a bipartisan, unanimous issue, kind of a no-brainer when it comes to things that we can do to help our aviation population.
Now, is this running as kind of a standalone bill, or is it kind of buried in something and it has the possibility of being derailed because of something unrelated to this?
Yes, so it's a standalone bill as it sits today, but we're open to any and all packages that would get it to the finish line, right? This bill getting, signed into law is the most important thing. It's a standalone bill right now, but if there's a vessel that allows it to go into law faster, I think we're absolutely okay with that.
I'd like to ask a quick clarifying question too, again, for someone that may not be, or again, we have a wide audience here. Tell us what talk therapy means. What does that mean?
Absolutely. So talk therapy is when you may ask, it could be called psychotherapy, therapist, counseling, anything like that, is when you go to someone who's received training on how to help you talk through an issue. I think about it as, kind of going to someone who's outside your family or your immediate circle and asking for help or guidance of like, I'm going through this rough transition in life. Can you talk to me about ways that may, help me navigate this better? Or I'm going through a rough situation. I want a person to help me talk through it. It's kind of that buffer person that would allow you to be able to handle a situation maybe more objectively than what's outside your immediate circle.
So where do we go from here? How can we as a general public help, even if we're not pilots?
Yes, so the Mental Health and Aviation Act is going to require support from everyone. And one of the things that I like to say is that once this bill is only one slice of the pie, it's only one part of the puzzle that we need to solve. We also need, as aviators, to be able to accept that we can, this is truth and this is the path that we're going to go towards. I also think the general population is a key part of this too. When we talk about aviators flying with, maybe mental health diagnoses or struggles in the past, I think we need to stop seeing that as like, oh my gosh, my pilot's crazy. You're not crazy, right? They're a better pilot now than when they came out before. So getting the message out that we're better pilots because we've received help than when we were before.
Reducing the stigma.
Absolutely, reducing the stigma.
Okay.
So right now, the Pilot Mental Health Campaign is working on getting things passed, but you also have resources right now available for pilots who might be having some mental health problems. What resources and where can people go to find these resources?
Absolutely. So pmhc.org is your best spot to start. We have resources available that help you navigate if you're looking to maybe disclose a diagnosis and don't know what's available, or you're looking to seek that talk therapy for the first time and are looking for some guidance to give to the person that you're talking to of like, hi, I'm a pilot. This does mean some extra things. I'd still like to see you, but here's a paper that explains what it means to talk to me and what I might have to be responsible for. So we have some really great resources. We actually beat the FAA to the punch on getting those resources up. The FAA about 3 months ago did also produce that guidance, which is really great. We've talked to our medical director. He says that our guidance is a little bit better there. But it is available. PMHC.org is kind of your one-stop shop for that.
All right. And let's say somebody's had some mental health things and they might have fudged a few medicals and said, I'm fine. And now they're like, I need help. And how does somebody deal with the fact that they've had these problems and they might not have disclosed in the past? Is there a good way to deal with that?
That's a really great question, and that's a reality that we know exists. It's actually one of the ARC recommendations is we need to have a pathway that would allow for that clarity, to be able to report those things. Right now, your best bet is to go to your aviation medical examiner. They provide consultations before you even fill out MedExpress. Talk to your AME ahead of time. Say, hey, this is what I'm looking to disclose. This is what I'd like to work through. Are you going to be a partner with me on that? Are you going to be my advocate as we go through this process? There's AMEs who are really comfortable with mental health diagnoses. There are AMEs who not. I would encourage you to find someone who is, and they'll be able to walk you through the process of what that looks like, what that disclosure process looks like. They may come back with, we'd like some more information. Thank you so much for telling us. We'd like some more information. Could you, provide us this report or whatnot? But finding a good AME is going to be your best advocate there.
How do I know if I have a good AME, or how do I know if my AME is going to be like, nope, and cause you more problems?
That's a really great question. So most AMEs provide consultations ahead of time. If you send them a note, they've got emails or phone numbers. Find a local AME you think might be a good one. Send them a note. Call them. Say, I'd like to talk. Have a consultation. I'd like to talk to you ahead of time about some things I'm going to disclose. It may be a couple $100s up front, but that will be able to save you, like you said, from that possible nope on the back end. So,
do you have recommended AMEs on your website?
PMHC.org does have recommended AMEs on our website.
That is fantastic. Well, we thank you for all of your hard work. This is such an important topic, and you guys have been doing some incredible work. Again, we've been talking with Lila Stein from the Pilot Mental Health Campaign, and you're listening to EAA Radio.
You're tuned to EAA Radio, 96.5 FM, 1210 AM, and online at EAAradio.net.
Green Bay Austin Straubel International Airport is proud to sponsor EAA Radio. They look forward to visiting with you in Hangar C while you're here. GRB is just 50 minutes north of Oshkosh. 2 FBOs with 280,000 feet of hangar space, fuel, and maintenance on site. 5 major airlines serve 11 nonstop routes, and all major car rental brands. Enjoy EAA and explore all that Northeast Wisconsin has to offer. FlyGRB.com.
Good afternoon, AirVenture. I'm meteorologist Jack Huseman, and this is your final day forecast. Our highs are in the 80s, feeling like the 90s. Wind is out of the south-southwest, 5 to 9 knots. Our AQ is in the moderate. Partly cloudy, that sun's peeking through occasionally, and a chance for some overnight storms this evening. The UV is in the 7, so if you're on the grounds today, make sure you have some sunscreen. I'm meteorologist Jack Huseman. Thank you for listening to EAA Radio, and thank you for a great week.
Cure your doom scrolling with EAA Radio on TikTok. We're taking over your For You page and keeping you in the loop on all things AirVenture. See for yourself. Find us on TikTok at EAA Radio.
There's so much to see at AirVenture Oshkosh, we can't possibly fit it all onto the radio. That's why you should follow us on Facebook to get all the goodies that don't make it to air. You'll find photos from in studio, on the grounds, and maybe even in the sky. All this and more at facebook.com/EAA Radio.
Attending EAA AirVenture Oshkosh is like having your own quick-build airplane ownership kit. With programs on building, owning, operating, and maintaining your aircraft, you'll learn everything you need to know to get the most out of your aircraft and aviation adventure. If you're just getting started building your airplane, there are workshops on welding, composites, wing rib construction, and sheet metal forming. And there are plenty of forums on designing an instrument panel, spray painting basics, calculating weight and balance, and much, much more. Special programs offer advice for choosing the right home built for you. Maintenance programs offer advice on owner-performed maintenance, maintaining your Continental or Rotax engine, and dealing with the special needs of an aging aircraft. If you're almost finished with your project, forums on FAA registration, keeping maintenance records, and planning and executing flight testing will help you make that turn to final for your home-built project. While you may be building it yourself, there's plenty of support from start to finish at EAA AirVenture Oshkosh.
Need more aviation in your life? EAA offers live, informative, and interactive webinars year-round on a range of aviation topics. And some EAA webinars even qualify for credit in the FAA's Wings or AMT program. You can even sign up to get monthly webinar schedules sent directly to your inbox, so you never miss a session. Learn more at eaa.org/webinars.
There may be plenty of us squawking 1200 on a clear day, but it sure beats traffic on the highway. It's Squawk 1200 on EAA Radio.
I'm Fast Eddie, believe it or not.
And I'm Digital Dave, and I do not.
Thanks.
I choose not to believe. I substitute my own reality.
That's right. I reject your reality and
That's right.
substitute my own. With us in the studio, we have NASA. Again,
NASA.
We love NASA.
Yep, they do cool things.
They do. And
But
they have a
these
lot
guys
of
aren't
rocket
quite,
scientists.
yeah, but they're not really in space. They're getting close, though.
Well, I like to
They're
think...
up there on the fringes.
Listen, what they're doing is important here.
I'm not arguing that point.
And we are talking to Nils Larson, Heather Meliska. Did I get that right?
You did.
Unbelievable. And Peter Cohen?
Cohen.
Oh, like the Cohen brothers.
Like the Cohen brothers, yeah.
Okay, here we go.
But poorer.
And you're all
you got two
involved.
airplanes, man. So.
You're all involved with the X-59 program, the Sonic Thump.
Yes.
Instead of the Sonic Boom.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
You guys have the plane flying.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that's right. Mm-hmm.
Do they call it the Jimmy Durante? Because it's got a long nose.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's like 38 feet, I think, in front of the canard. And
We call her Penelope.
Yeah, I don't doubt it.
Pinocchio.
The one
Penelope.
question I had, you have no forward view at all.
Right.
So you've got screens.
Mm-hmm.
Do you also have peripheral cameras so you get more of a natural view?
There are actually windows on the side, and
Okay.
it's a T-38 canopy, so you can see
All
out
right.
the side. The weirdest thing is probably taxiing.
Yeah, I noticed he doesn't do S-turns. I think we need to talk to him about that.
Yeah, it's because there's the cameras are not in the same spot. There's one on the top, one on the bottom. The forward one, I think, is a little closer. So when you see the taxiway turn, because if you look at my display, I have the upper camera then the lower camera kind of stitched together. So you'll see the taxiway turn in the upper camera, then you'll see it turn in the lower camera.
Oh.
And then the actual nose wheel it's not really a nose wheel because it's nowhere near the nose. It's behind my it's behind me.
So it drives funny.
It's the forward gear. So, if it's a 90-degree turn, it's not bad. You just look out the side like you do a big airplane and turn. But the weird thing is if it's smaller turn, say like a 30-degree turn, you got to watch everything go by and then go, about now.
Yeah, okay.
So.
Does the cameras have the little lines, so you don't hit things like your backup camera?
No, actually, that's a good idea. We should talk to Randy about that. Yeah.
New feature coming.
Yeah, exactly.
Green, orange, red, turn!
Yeah.
Beep,
Good
beep,
idea. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
But it does have all the HUD symbology and other displays that really give Nils include situational awareness of how the airplane is flying. Wouldn't really be possible with a window.
Right.
Okay. Now you've said you've had it up as high as about 1.4 Mach 1.4.
1.4 Mach, 55,000 feet.
Wow. Now that's design goal, or you want to go faster?
That is the design point. We do want to go faster to expand the envelope just a little bit more. So, probably just a little bit beyond that, but not by much. We don't need to go too much further than that.
I remember from the forum, you have an endurance of about an hour and a half?
Yeah, depending on what, as we learned, depending on the altitude that we're going and how fast we're going.
Right.
So generally, it's somewhere around. It depends. If we're going really fast, it's probably closer to an hour 15.
Okay, so
but if we were going to ferry it across the country, we'd probably ferry more like a T-38 and be about 0.95 Mach, and we might get 2 hours out of it.
I was going to say, that's a lot of fuel stops.
Yeah,
and you need a big runway.
Yeah, you do, because we want 10,000 feet. 12,000 is preferred.
And how many airports have that are not fully commercial?
Yeah, that's, there's the weird thing is we were surprised when we started looking how many, 10 and 12,000 foot runways there were in the country.
Okay.
So we were, relatively, we thought we were going to have to go to all military bases, but that's not true. Yeah.
So I would think you'd want to do that just from a security standpoint.
Probably if it works, but we'll see. It'll end up being, when we travel across the country, it'll be a traveling circus, because think of the tow bar.
Yes.
Because if you think about it, I sit 50 feet back, and that forward gear is behind me.
Wow.
So we do have a tow bar. I don't even know do you know how long that tow bar is?
I think it's 80 feet. I keep saying we need to contact Guinness, because I think we have a world record.
Tow bar.
Yeah. Well, there's a good thing to having a long tow bar. It's going to be very difficult to take off with it. It's still attached to the plane.
Yeah. It should be obvious.
Would that thing fit in a C5? Because maybe that'd be an easier way to move it around.
I don't know. We looked at one point of the guppy.
I think if you take the wingtips off and the nose off, it will fit in a super.
You mean
guppy.
the nose is still too long?
His nose is still too long.
Yeah. Oh my goodness!
Yeah. Is it easy to remove, or do you have to go through some shenanigans?
It's not something that you want to do every day.
Right.
But, if there was the right reason, you wouldn't do it to move the airplane across the United States. That's for sure. But if you wanted to go elsewhere,
spare nose. Believe it or not, we do have a spare nose. Believe it or not, that's part of the secret sauce to make that thump.
Does it have a mustache? And glasses,
Yeah, exactly.
Is that nose? I mean, obviously it's aerodynamic, but do you have that full of instrumentation as well?
Not really. I mean, there's a pitot tube, at the end, and that is about as perfect a pitot system as you could ever get. How far out
way
that
out
is.
there.
So that's about all that's in there. The thing is all composite. I think it weighs, minus the pitot tube stuff on there, it's only about 350 pounds.
Wow,
that's not bad.
No, that's not bad at all.
Because it's all composite. Yeah.
How many hours you got flying this thing so far?
Around 12. And about
that's a lot.
530 in the sim.
Have you had the opportunity yet in the airplane when you're at cruising altitude, just buzzing along, to sit back and say, wow, this is really cool?
We keep him busy up there.
I was going to say, there's no section of the test card that says, wow, cool time.
Yeah. Well, when I did the first flight, it was interesting. We had a couple of people remind me, both my wife and Magic Marlin, the guy who's our sim guy, and he said, don't forget, most test pilots never get an opportunity like this, let alone an X-plane. He goes, don't forget to savor and take in the moment. And my wife said the same thing, and a couple other people. And you do get into the mission, and you're just rattling off whatever you got to do. But, it was right before takeoff and then right after landing that you had to kind of sit back and take in the moment for a second while the ground crews run around the airplane and
make sure nothing's leaking and all that.
The magnitude of what you were about to do, and then later on what just happened.
Are you in a full pressure suit like the SR-71 guys wore?
No, years ago, because this is designed around the back seat of a T-38. Back when we were first doing this, I used to be a U-2 pilot, so they put me in a pressure suit and then shoehorned me in the back of a T-38 and said, how's it work? And I was surprised that I could fit in the full pressure suit back there. The problem was the second you blew it up, and I was like, this ain't gonna work. So we wear the same thing that they wear in the F-22.
Okay.
So it's an ATAGS G suit and the chest garment, and then we have a helmet with a bladder in it, and we have a specially designed regulator that's 100% oxygen all the time. We use LOX. And if we were to lose pressurization, it just shoves O2 down our throat.
Right.
The vest blows up so that our lungs don't blow up.
Yeah,
And
that's a good thing.
And squeezes the crap out of us while we descend. So yeah, and there's no speed brake on this thing. There's no. I mean, getting this thing down from altitude. Is it
takes a while.
Yeah, it does. It's like the U2. It takes forever to get this thing down sometimes.
Yeah, mine's inflamed down an hour ago. I'm still up here. Wow.
You're going to run out of backup battery before you run out of altitude.
Yeah, well, we had worried about that originally, but it turned out when we did the ground tests on our lithium-ion batteries that we ended up with more time than we thought, which was a great thing.
That's
because
great.
That was one of the things we really worried about for our emergency procedures.
Now, the airplane itself is full of cameras. Do you guys have a GoPro stashed in the cockpit there?
We actually have one on each side that looks at the screens. So
they don't have one staring
We want to
at
see
the
that
pilot?
grin.
Yeah, they don't.
The SE grin that you get.
Well, it's funny because when we first were going to put the GoPros in there, they go, "We don't want to see you." I'm like, "They're not for us." Yeah. But now public affairs is like, well, maybe we should put some in there.
That's right. That's right. You only have the one plane. There's no plans to build a backup or anything like that.
Just the one plane.
Just the one plane. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So don't mess it up.
So we need to treat it
like
Does the crew chief ever tell you, as you're getting suited up and tied into the airplane, don't break the plane?
It's more. Clue and I joke around with each other. He's the other X-59 pilot, where, if it breaks or whatever, I'm like, he'll be, "What'd you do to my airplane?" Or I'll go, "What'd you do to my airplane?" So anytime something goes wrong.
Do you ever ask him for a stick of Beemans before you get in?
Now, to that, our old program manager, before first flight, mailed me a pack of Beemans.
Yeah.
And
Tradition, man.
And I had it in my pocket on the first flight.
Darn right.
Yeah.
Now, one other question here. If you do have an in-flight emergency, let's say the airframe breaks on the airplane, you can't control it. Do you have an ejection seat in this?
We do, and it's Martin Baker qualified. Same thing as in the T-38.
Okay.
And it's qualified up to 60,000 and 1.6 Mach, I think, or something like that. So higher than we're probably going to go.
That's something I remember from yesterday. I was going to ask a question, and you answered it for me. You said that these design changes will not work at Mach 2? They only work in that Mach 1 region?
No. They will work. The shaping technology that quiets the boom, it'll work at any Mach number. It is generally... up to Mach 2, you can still build a practical airplane that is low boom. Beyond that, it just gets so skinny that you couldn't put any people in it. So, So we're Mach 1.4 because that's just what we could get to. That was fast enough, but it's just what we could get to. But future airliners could be faster.
Wow. Sounds good.
Have there been any surprises with the results that you've been getting?
I guess very few, which is a good thing.
I wouldn't say any real surprises.
So it's going as predicted.
Yeah, I mean, you still have the standard,
things.
the growing pains that you have when you're developing an airplane like that breaks, and you have to go fix that, and because
and like the software changes that Caitlin was talking about yesterday, we get some of those that we kind of stack them up, and we find the opportune time to put those in the system.
I love it. He gets in the plane, flips it on, and says, please wait while we update your Windows.
Exactly. You see the little thing going around in a
software
circle.
update,
Nice. Yeah. All right. We want to thank you guys for joining us. We've been speaking with
Nils Larson, Heather Maliska, and Peter Cohen
of NASA.
Thanks for having us.
All right. This is Digital Dave.
I'm Fast Eddie.
And this is EAA Radio.
I'm George Whitesides, CEO of Virgin Galactic, and when we're not flying people to space, we're listening to EAA Radio.
Need help promoting your company? We can help. EAA Radio is heard by thousands of people every day at AirVenture, and during the rest of the year at EAAradio.net. Sponsorship opportunities are available right now. Contact us at info@EAAradio.net. Call us at 920-550-1210 or come visit us on the field during AirVenture.
And now, it's time for Safety Songs.
Put on sunscreen, got SPF 50 right this moment. Cover everything. Don't mean to press, but you'll be in distress. I'm just worried. Oh, put on sunscreen.
don't forget to put on sunscreen. A message from EAA Radio.
Put on sunscreen.
This is EAA Radio News. I'm Kevin Whalen. AirVenture displays an impressive 9 air shows over the course of 7 days. Aerobatic acts thrill crowds with fast-paced precision maneuvers. Where do pilots learn to fly all those loops and rolls? Jerry Malador is a former airshow pilot from the Phillips 66 Aerostars team and President Emeritus of the International Aerobatic Club, IAC. Malador states that competition aerobatics are the starting point for many airshow pilots.
I mean, I would start with the IAC and their system because that prepares you very well for airshow flying in terms of sequence development, your figure acumen, what you can do safely and well. If you go up through the category system in the IAC all the way, you'll be fine for just about anything. And so then you can just concentrate on bringing it down a little bit lower for airshow flying.
There are many options when designing an aerobatic sequence for performance. Malador enjoys Team-X and believes that airshow organizers feel the same.
Organizers like formation aerobatic teams because there's more activity going on. It's more excitement, it's more dynamic. Instead of just one airplane with 360 horse, you got over 1,200 horsepower with 4 propellers going. So it sounds a lot better, and there's something happening constantly.
So what does Malador hope crowds take away from an airshow act?
I would just want them to be thrilled and wowed by the excitement, and just putting a smile on everybody's face where they, some of the things that were going on were, very interesting, very close calls with airplanes. So it seems from the crowd perspective, of course, it was very choreographed on our side of the fence, but it was just a lot of fun. I wouldn't have traded it for anything.
That's Jerry Malador, former airshow pilot for the Phillips 66 Aerostars team and President Emeritus of the International Aerobatic Club. From all of us at EAA Radio, we hope you enjoyed the show. For EAA Radio News, I'm Kevin Whalen.
Good morning, and live from the Ron Scott Communications Center, this is From the Stand. I'm Steve Buss, and today we welcome Ron Kaplan from the Ohio Air and Space Hall of Fame. We'll hear about flying into Oshkosh in an A-26 from a 16-year-old who was on board that airplane, and he's got quite a great story. And we'll also talk about life aboard the aircraft carrier flight deck. But first, we're going to talk to Jim Less, who is with NASA. He is a test pilot for the X-59 Quest program. And Jim, welcome back to Oshkosh.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about the X-59 program. I know we've talked about it in the past, but you made some pretty significant leaps forward in the recent past.
Absolutely. This year I can say we've finally flown the airplane and are learning a little bit more about it. But for background, the X-59 is designed to fly supersonic without creating a loud sonic boom that all supersonic airplanes up to this point have had. We're trying to pave the way for faster commercial travel across the country. The Concorde could only fly over the ocean because of the sonic boom and all the rules prohibiting supersonic flight over land. So we're going to show that you can make a quiet supersonic airplane. We're going to gather data on that, provide it to the FAA so they can change the rules and pave the way for getting there twice as fast. Okay. That's what we're hoping.
Good. Now, you mentioned that the airplane has flown. Has it actually flown faster than the speed of sound already?
It has.
Okay.
We did our first flight last October, and we're now up to 19 flights. Most of those flights have been this year since March through about now. And I think in the last 3 flights, we got supersonic.
Okay.
The first supersonic flight, I got to take it to 1.1 Mach. 1.2 Mach on the flight after that. My colleague Nils Larson did the last flight and got all the way to 1.4 Mach and 55,000 feet.
Wow.
Which is what we consider our design conditions. That's where we need to show the quiet sonic thump.
Okay. And when what is the altitude that you actually go supersonic?
We can go supersonic down in the 40s, but really to get the sonic thump that we want and to hit 1.4 Mach, we're up above 50,000 feet, 50 to 55,000.
Okay, so this would be beyond where a conventional airliner would be, right?
Absolutely. And most military fighters even don't go above 50 because if your cabin were to depressurize, that you could have decompression sickness. We wear a partial pressure suit, similar to what the F-22 pilots use. That's actually good up to 60,000 feet.
Okay. So is the goal then of the program, now that you've demonstrated that, that it's not a sonic boom, it's a thump, right? So a sonic boom could be, I don't know what the decibel range is, but it's probably over 100 decibels on the ground for a sonic boom. And here in Wisconsin, we do hear those every once in a while because we have a military operations area with F-35s out of Madison. And every once in a while, someone will make a turn a little too tight and rattle the windows. But with this technology, how much lower is that decibel level?
So we're targeting 75 decibels. Decibel's not a linear scale, so that is significantly quieter than 100.
Right.
The scientists predict that it'll sound like your neighbor slamming their car door.
Okay.
In a loud environment, in a crowded room, you probably wouldn't even hear it.
Okay.
Another big difference is a normal sonic boom is very sharp. It'll rattle the windows, set off car alarms. This is more of a muted sound that won't have all those adverse effects.
Good. With the what's the next step for the program then?
So we're in the middle of envelope expansion.
Okay.
We've gotten to our design condition, but there's a lot of other points along the way. We haven't done much low speed. We haven't done lower and faster, things that just make it a little more efficient to operate, to get to and from the cruise condition. So we need to finish that over the next month or two. We should be done with that. We're calling that phase 1. Our phase 2, we're going to go out. The scientists will then get their hands on measuring the sound, measuring the shock waves, getting all that data to show that the design's performing the way it's supposed to in terms of the sound.
Okay. And after phase 2, is that when you go to the FAA?
Phase 3 is where we then go fly around the country at some select locations. We'll have volunteers in the community, and we'll be flying over making our sonic thumps and see whether they hear it, see how disruptive it is to their day, and trying to figure out what that decibel level, since, again, it's not just decibel level, it's the shape of the sound wave and whether it's a sharp crack or a more of a muted rumble. So we'll try to find out where that sweet spot is, that it's acceptable to the public.
Good. What airplane is the X-59?
It's a unique airplane. It's a one-of-a-kind. It is based on, or we've used components from a lot of different airplanes, but it is a unique design. The cockpit is based on the rear cockpit of a T-38 trainer. We've used the same canopy, the same ejection seat, so we don't have to develop all that from scratch. The engine is a GE 414 out of a Super Hornet. Modified a little bit since it's single engine versus dual.
Right.
We have F-16 landing gear. We have a lot of components out of F-16s and F-18s. The control stick, interestingly enough, is from an F-117. So, and then we have avionics inside, kind of a modified version of Rockwell Collins Proline Fusion, designed for King Airs and Citations, I think. So a unique design, because we don't have room for all their displays. We just have two. It's a single-seat fighter, or single-seat aircraft, the X-59. And then another unique aspect of it is that because of the long nose on it, we can't see in front of us. There's no forward windscreen. So we're looking through a TV camera, looking at a screen, which gives us basically the same visibility if there was a window there.
Sure. And what's the reason for not having a front window?
It's really just the shape, so that we don't set off a shock wave there. It's a long, skinny nose, and if you made that transparent, then you'd be looking at such an angle you wouldn't really be able to see anything out of it anyway. So
wow. Okay. And so when you're here and you start explaining this to AirVenture attendees, especially home builders, I'm sure their eyes get wide, because many of the home builders do the same thing, take components of other aircraft and put together something brand new. What's it like to fly?
It's a pretty good flying airplane, actually. It flies like the simulator. We've been flying a simulator for years and years. We figure we've each done probably 1,000 landings in the simulator. There was a lot of concern about the landing characteristics of it. At low speed, it turns out it flies better than the simulator.
Okay.
The nose does move around a lot, a little bit of yaw left and right, pitches. It's a little pitch sensitive. But turns out it's not as bad as the sim. It flies pretty nice. once we're up at 250 knots, 300 knots, it actually flies very well. You can hand fly it. We have pretty good autopilot, auto throttle system, but you can hand fly it just as well. Okay. Flies pretty smooth. In turbulence on landing, it's wallowing around a lot, but and the autopilot, we've got an autopilot to assist with that. It turned out the pilot does better than the autopilot for that. I've had to click that off a few times and just bring it on in, and it lands pretty nicely. Has more ground effect than we expected, and that cushions the landing. So it wants to float. You actually have to kind of plant it on the ground to get it stopped. Very slick airplane. From altitude, getting down is a challenge. We don't have any kind of drag devices, so you're in idle and you're going 275 knots, which is what we're cleared to right now, and just waiting and waiting. Taking a couple extra spins to get down to the altitude you need.
Good. Jim Less is a NASA test pilot. How does one become a NASA test pilot? That's kind of a rare breed.
It is unique. There's not a lot of us. You need to be in the right place at the right time, but also have the right qualifications. Most of us were military. I was an Air Force pilot, Air Force test pilot. I was hitting my 20 years and wondering what I was going to do next, and this job opportunity presented itself. And when they offered me the job, I put in my papers and basically moved from one side of the base to the other. We're out at Armstrong Flight Research Center. I was stationed at Edwards Air Force Base, which is where the bulk of Air Force test pilots are, and started going to work on a different part of the base and wore a different uniform. Doing a lot of the same things, working with a lot of the same people.
Good. X-59, that means there were probably some projects before that. What are some of the projects that are coming after this?
So that's an excellent question. I'm pretty much focused on the X-59 right now. We've had, I know we had the X-57. That never quite got off the ground, though. The scientists learned a lot from that. That was an electric airplane. We were talking about the X-66, a truss-braced wing, just looking for a more fuel-efficient design. That one's probably not going to fly, but again, the engineers are learning a lot from the work they're doing on that. So, but the future looks bright for aviation. There's a lot of exciting things out there. We're working on going faster. People are working on making planes safer, greener, more fuel efficient. So a great time to be in aviation and in flight tests.
Good. With the initials NASA, National Aeronautics and Space Administration, a lot of people focus in only on the space program, and that is exciting and it's very loud and you know. But aeronautics has always been a part of NASA's mission.
Absolutely.
And the things that you're talking about are really playing into that mission. And where do you know? It's 120, almost 125 years since the Wright brothers first flight to where we are today. And we've gone from going very, very slow. In fact, we have a Wright B Flyer replica here. So when you look at that compared to the X-59, if you had a crystal ball, where do you see things going in the future?
There's definitely a lot of interest in hypersonics right now, going even faster than Mach 3, Mach 4. Hypersonics is really where you start worrying about things heating up, and things start glowing red, and you have to make sure that your materials will handle that, and the engines are a challenge. So I think faster, definitely a way to go, making planes safer. Everybody's talking about AI. I think there's a role for AI in helping the pilot make better.
You're listening to the voice of EAA, EAA Radio, 96.5 FM, 1210 AM, and EAAradio.net.
Green Bay Austin Straubel International Airport is proud to sponsor EAA Radio. They look forward to visiting with you in Hangar C while you're here. GRB is just 50 minutes north of Oshkosh. 2 FBOs with 280,000 feet of hangar space, fuel, and maintenance on site. 5 major airlines serve 11 nonstop routes, and all major car rental brands. Enjoy EAA and explore all that Northeast Wisconsin has to offer. FlyGRB.com.
Welcome to the EAA AirVenture Oshkosh Daily Air Show, presented by Dyer. For more than 70 years, EAA's Daily Air Show has been a showcase for aerobatic, military, and exhibition flying. We have a great show for you today, so find a spot on the grass, look up into the sky, and keep it right here for all the action on EAA Radio. This afternoon's schedule, which is subject to change, includes some spectacular performers. Today's show will begin with the Shooters Parachute Team. And appearing in the sky today, Kyle Fowler in a Rutan Long Easy, the C-17 Globemaster 3 demonstration team, Britt Lincoln in an Extra 330, Team Redline in Vans RV-8s, Jim Tobel, Jared Lindemann in a Jet Waco, RJ Gritter in a Decathlon, Skip Stewart in a Pitts S2S, the Flying Bulls P-38 Lightning and the Douglas DC-6, Bob Carlton in a Foxjet twin-engine sailplane, Ed Hamill in the Folds of Honor biplane, Jeff Shetterly in a North American SNJ-6 Texan, the F-35 Lightning II demo team, the United States Air Force F-16 Viper demonstration, and the Royal Air Force Aerobatic Team Red Arrows. Now, it's up to the announcer's stand for this afternoon's Daily Air Show.
And bright stars through a perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Lillian and the Shooters.
Warning. The show you're about to see is flown in an aircraft that was never meant to do aerobatics. Really? He's doing aerobatics in a Long Easy? What, is he nuts? Ooh, the mic's on. Shoot!
Ladies
and gentlemen of EAA Air.
Hey everybody, this is Kyle Fowler. We are checking in again on our coast to coast, made it to the west coast, Alberta, over top of Arizona, Grand Canyon. This is an incredible view. Louisiana, made it to the east coast. It's been a long cross country, and I love what I do.
Well, I walk into the room.
Call it backwards plane because the engine's in the back, the tail's in the front, and it just kind of looks like a spaceship. And it actually is not designed for doing aerobatics, but anything will do a loop and roll when you try hard enough, and I try really, really hard.
Cause I saddle up my horse and I ride into the city. I make a lot of noise, cause the girls, they are so pretty. Riding up and down Broadway on my old stud Leroy, and the girls say, save a horse, ride a cowboy.
Square bills, flatbeds, clothesline sunsets, sky blue, barn red. Wind chimes, front porch, good dogs, wood floors, work boots, open doors, and miles of John Deere green, freedom far as I can see. The road to run and room to breathe, that's who I am and I'll always be. Caught up in the country, the only way I wanna be. Somewhere where the road ends, out there where the creek bends, that's where you can find me. Within fields of gold and cotton rolls, that never-ending sky. That take it slow, easy road, man, it's life. Caught up in the country. Caught up in the can see. A road to run and room to breathe. It's who I am and I'll always be.
Caught up in the country. Caught up in the country.
Caught up in the country.
Whoa, Kyle is flying backwards, literally. The Long Easy, though not capable of aggressive aerobatics, makes up for it for its unique style and speed. Designed by legendary innovator Burt Rutan, the Delta Wing Canard is highly efficient and can carry 52 gallons of avgas, and allows for an impressive range of over 1,000 nautical miles, which allows Kyle to travel between airshow to airshow with only a few stops. You may notice that the plane needs to be parked on the nose. This is due to the engine being mounted behind the main landing gear. With most of the weight of the aircraft being behind the engine, the aircraft needs the weight of the pilot in the cockpit to keep the nose down. Kyle's powered by a 200 horsepower Lycoming IO 360 engine, which allows for cruising at about 175 knots. Kyle Fowler is from Alberta, Canada, and grew up around the airshow industry. At just 12 years old, he began announcing airshows for his father, Ken Fowler of Team Rocket. In 2015, Kyle purchased his Long Easy with the goal of bringing this unique experimental aircraft to the airshow circuit. Kyle holds a commercial multi-engine IFR pilot certificate, allowing him to travel to airshows throughout North America. When he's not flying, Kyle works as a licensed automotive mechanic, a skill that comes handy since the Long Easy is a home-built experimental aircraft. Let's go up to the cockpit and talk to Kyle Fowler. Hey Kyle, we got you on the frequency.
Hey Jack, how's everybody in Oshkosh doing today?
Oshkosh, I can't hear you.
Hey folks, while I got you on the radio, I don't get too many opportunities to talk to the crowd, but I want to hear a big round of applause for all the volunteers, and you know that there's some volunteers to put on an amazing show like this, for all the hard work that they do. Without them, we can't do what we do, and you know what, Jack? I love what I do.
Yes, you do, buddy.
Absolutely. All right, I've got a little bit extra smoke, a little bit extra gas. We're going to come back around, and we're going to do just a couple maneuvers. Maybe we'll just talk our way through this. All right, so I'm going to climb up. We need a little bit of energy for this. Power that full. Climbing up. We're at about 1,000 feet here. All right, show line is established. We're going to dive on down. Now on the north end of the runway, we've got what we call the wall. We keep the north runway active, so while we're flying this air show, we do not cross the wall. But we're allowed to go all the way up to it and touch it. The wall's just at the end of the runway. We're at the end of the runway now. Smoke is on. Pulling back. Pull, 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 pull. 3, 4, and lightning up on the top. And we're going to roll around. We're diving back down. We're going to hit show center. Level off and pull. Pull, pull, pull. 4Gs. Keep the 4Gs going. Lighten up on the top. Nice and light. And we start loading it back up again. Bring it back 4Gs. 4, 5. And we'll go to the end of the box on the other side. And pull. Pull, 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 and let's roll back around. All right, folks, that's everything for me today. We're going to let some of the other performers have some fun. I hope you enjoyed the rest of the day at Oshkosh. Thank you very, very much. Going back, Bob.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Kyle Fowler. Kyle would like to thank his following sponsors. Aerosport Power, for powering the Long Easy with the Lycoming IO 360. Arcraft Paint, for the incredible paint scheme that pops in the sky. Aerotronics, for our avionics install. Cato Propellers, Softy Parachutes, Flying Eyes Optical, Lift Aviation, Innovative Wings, STS, EFI, and Ignition Products, Sim Your Airplane, and Lightspeed Headsets. You can follow Kyle Fowler on social media at Kyle Fowler Aerosports. Kyle thanks you for your attention and your participation. See you next year.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ghost Rider Air Shows is proud to present Nathan Hammond at the de Havilland Super Chipmunk. An experienced aviator and aerobatic performer, Nathan has amassed more than 9,000 total hours of flight time in more than 50 different kinds of aircraft. Today he serves as one of the world's last professional skyriders, performing at aerial events both day and night. Flying this de Havilland DHC-1, designed as a trainer for the Royal Canadian Air Force, we're in for a display of aerobatics in this classic air show airplane. Nathan's motto is go see the world, especially growing up in an aviation family. With experience flying aircraft ranging from World War I biplanes to corporate business jets, his absolute favorite type of flying is what we're seeing now. Let's watch out in front of us as Nathan continues and flies the Ghost Rider into the vertical for his next maneuver. As a skyrider and international airshow performer, Nathan stays busy, performing at everything from air shows to music festivals, using his onboard smoke system made by injecting a lightweight oil into the exhaust. Each of his skywriting messages can stretch more than 10 miles wide at an altitude of more than 15,000 feet. It is from this altitude where it can be difficult to spot Nathan's airplane from the ground, but the messages high above give it the worthy name of the Ghost Rider.
Up and down, Papa's hair, fleas and ticks jump everywhere. It's a original sin. Down the hill fell Jack and Jill, and you came tumbling after. It's an original sin. Rip away the tears. Drink a home to happy years. You may find a lifetime's passed you by. Wild would you say?
This Super Chipmunk has been highly modified into the air show airplane we see today. It features a custom-built 350 horsepower motor, an advanced composite propeller, shortened wings, and a streamlined canopy, turning this airplane into a lean, mean air show machine.
Rest his head on a pillow made of concrete again. Oh, please, maybe he'll see a little better Saturdays. Oh, yeah. Oh, hey, now, big daddy sees time again, ain't that familiar?
Capable of over 6 Gs or 6 times the force of gravity, this tight cornering capability allows Nathan to keep his flying displays up close and personal. If you're interested in flying aerobatics and want to be part of an amazing community, Nathan encourages you to join the International Aerobatic Club at IAC.org. In addition to flying his low-level performances during the day, Nathan is also one of a handful of pilots who's also authorized to display at night. Under the cover of darkness, the Ghost Rider can be equipped with more than 200 pounds of fireworks, pyrotechnics, lights, and special effects for an explosive and sparkling nighttime performance. Nathan Hammond encourages you to go see the world, and you can stay up to date with Nate and the travels of the Ghost Rider by following their social pages online at Ghost Rider Air Shows. You too can get your exclusive Go See the World and Ghost Rider merchandise by visiting GWAmerch.com. The recipient of the Bill Barber Award for Showmanship, one of the highest honors awarded within the air show industry, Nathan Hammond's combination of daytime flying, nighttime flying, and skywriting makes him one of the most sought-after performers on the air show circuit today. Nathan Hammond and Ghost Rider Air Shows would like to thank their sponsors, to include Poplar Grove Air Motive, Tempest, Whirlwind Propeller, Airflow Performance, CamGuard, Concord Batteries, Goodyear, Sarasota Avionics, Softy Parachutes, AC Air Technology, B&C Specialty Products, and Wheelan Aerospace Technologies. Nathan would also like to thank each and every one of you for attending today's show, as well as to all who have helped make today's air show possible.
Moving your body, you prove that it can't escape. I can't escape. Got my heart in your hand.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's put our hands together for Nathan Hammond and the Ghost Rider.
Shut off the lights, we don't need them to dance. Hey. Oh, you said just shut off the lights, we don't need them to dance. You said just shut off the lights, shut off the lights. We're drunk, we're invincible. No going quietly into the night. This room is our universe. You are my gravity tonight. No talk of the future now. Dark thoughts, you're shaking them, taking them out. This rhythm that we create sets me straight. In my head there's a beat, it's the beat that you make when you're moving your body. You prove that I can't escape. I can't escape. Got my heart in your hands and your hands on my chest. In my chest there's a breath, it's the breath that you take away. And you said, shut up the lights, we don't need them to dance. Hey. You said, just shut up the lights, we don't need them to dance. You said, just shut up the lights, shut up the lights. Last night you said, empty your head, be here with me. Shut up the lights, we don't need them to dance. Tune out the noise for a moment. You said, let's just shut up the lights, we don't need them to dance.
Well, before we get RJ Gritter into the box in his decathlon, we have to depart a couple of jets. Those are the very specially painted NASA F-18s and F-15s that have been here all week with their special livery for the 250th anniversary of the founding of this country. On the takeoff roll now and headed back to Armstrong Research Center, our NASA F-18 and F-15. All right, our next act has been called in. RJ Gritter will be coming here just in a moment as he had to kind of get out of the way for the NASA jets to depart. A reminder that today's show is sponsored by Daher, and we appreciate their sponsorship not only this year, but for a number of years that they have been sponsoring our afternoon air show. Thank you, Daher, for helping make it possible to have this air show. As you're out here tonight, or this afternoon, I should say, make sure you have some sunscreen on because it is getting a little blistery, and get something to drink if you can as well. And, of course, keep an eye on your little ones as well because they are more susceptible to the heat than us big kids are.
You folks are about to experience a remarkable display of stick and rudder aerobatics from one of the finest airshow pilots in the world today. You just saw pilots flying 300, even 400 horsepower airplanes, but this performer does all the same maneuvers and more with half the power, all the while pulling a much heavier airframe with a lot more drag. The pilot, once a whiz kid of model airplanes, is now an accomplished aerospace engineer who's redefining the art of decathlon aerobatics. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for R.J. Gritter. The airplane that RJ's flying, hardly an aerobatic hot rod. The decathlon traces its roots back to the 80-year-old Olympic champ. But what it lacks in performance, RJ makes up for with muscle, athleticism, and a whole lot of rudder. There is no hiding your mistakes.
Are you ready for it? Oh. Are you ready for it? Baby, let the games begin. Let the games begin. Let the games begin. Oh. Baby, let the games begin. Let the games begin. Let the games begin.
I want to tell you about how RJ developed a passion for aerobatics through radio control flying. He started competing at the age of 16 and even represented the United States on the world stage in indoor precision and freestyle championships. Remote control flying gave RJ a strong background for the unique brand of aerobatic flying that you're watching right now.
I see how this is gonna go. Touch me and you'll never be alone. Island breeze and lights down low. No one has to know. In the middle of the night, my dreams, you should see the things we do, baby. In the middle of the night, my dreams, I know I'm gonna be with you, so take my time. In the middle of the night, let the games begin, let the games begin, let the games begin. Are you ready for it? Baby, let the games begin. Let the games begin. Let the games begin. Are you ready for it? Baby, let the games begin. Let the games begin. Let the games begin. Are you ready for it? Baby, let the games begin.
I've got that lightning inside me, son of a god. I'm like a titan that's rising on just you watch. I'm stepping into fate. There is no time to waste. I've got that lightning inside me. This is how legends are made. This is how legends are made. This is how legends are made.
Get this, RJ got his airplane, learned aerobatics, and made his airshow debut all in the span of just 1 year. You can't say he's not dedicated. And if you're interested in aerobatics and want to be a part of that amazing community, you need to join the International Aerobatic Club to connect with aerobatic pilots and enthusiasts in the United States and around the world. You can check it out at IAC.org.
Fade into view. Oh, it's been a while since
Woo! It's go, 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 go time. Tick, tick. boom.
You can't stop me, so who gon' stop me? You can't stop me, so who gon' stop me?
We be disturbing the peace. Working, we serving the streets. About to go ahead, going beast. Bang, bang, leave you sleep.
It's go, 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 go time. Tick, tick, boom.
RJ wants to see your point of view, so share your videos and tag him. Follow RJ on Instagram at RJ Gritter and also on Facebook at RJ Gritter Air Shows. Special thanks to Garmin Aviation, proud sponsor of RJ Gritter Air Shows. From the Garmin Pilot app to his panel-mounted avionics, Garmin guides RJ through the skies and makes cross countries from show to show seamless with the best in situational awareness.
Somebody shine a light. I'm frozen by the fear in me. Somebody make me feel alive and shatter me.
As he climbs for his final maneuver, RJ would like to thank Horizon Hobby, TAC Aero, Tempest Aero Group, Hartzell Propeller, Goodyear, Wheelan Aerospace Technologies, B&C Specialty Products, Aircraft Spruce, and Aeroline Design. The support of these industry leaders allows RJ to fly at the top of his game. Now he's gaining altitude, and he'll dive in for his signature maneuver. This is the slow roll, and RJ does it like nobody else. Look high and to your left. Get your cameras ready. This is RJ Gritter in the best slow roll you've ever seen at an air show.
The voice of EAA. EAA Radio. 96.5 FM, 1210 AM, and online at eaaradio.net.
Green Bay Austin Straubel International Airport is proud to sponsor EAA Radio. They look forward to visiting with you in Hangar C while you're here. GRB is just 50 minutes north of Oshkosh. 2 FBOs with 280,000 feet of hangar space, fuel, and maintenance on site. 5 major airlines serve 11 nonstop routes and all major car rental brands. Enjoy EAA and explore all that Northeast Wisconsin has to offer. FlyGRB.com.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, how about that? Mr. R.J. Gritter. That is absolutely spectacular. Wow, that is something. Well, ladies and gentlemen, as we have a very small break in the action right now, we have a treat coming up for you. We have our next performer is Mr. Ken Reeder and Redline Air Shows. If you're facing the runway, look to the right, down on the far right side. Shortly departing runway 36 will be Mr. Ken Reeder and Redline Air Shows. He's back taxiing just a little bit. It's a little warmer today. Got a little bit of a tailing, quartering tailwind off the left side. But no problem for him. Redline Air Shows. They fly the Adrenaline Rush. Amazing aerobatic performance in the Vans RV-8. Here he is, from the right, ladies and gentlemen, Ken Reeder. As Ken climbs the Vans RV-8 high into the sky here at Show Center, letting the energy bleed as he rolls to the right shortly. Watch here as he pushes forward on the stick, and the aircraft begins to accelerate right back down to Show Center, flying the Vans RV-8 two-seat tandem aircraft. As most of you know, extremely versatile and the most popular amateur-built aircraft ever. More RVs are built each year than all other aircraft kits combined. There are over 11,000 Vans aircraft flying worldwide. Watch high and from the left what Ken and Redline Air Shows do with his right here.
Driving all the old men crazy. The boys are back in town. The boys are back in town. I said, the boys are back in town. 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 The boys are back in town.
As Ken completes his version of the Cuban 8 there, now heading high and to your left. The aircraft capable of speeds up to 230 miles an hour, and it can land short as slow as 55 miles an hour. You watch here as Ken's showing you some of the amazing aerobatic capabilities. It's got a 4-hour plus endurance before it needs fuel, giving them a over 700 mile range. The Redline aircraft have a 200 horsepower engine and Hartzell advanced structural composite propellers. Watch and listen to that engine and propeller screaming at you from the left.
I feel so close to you right now. It's a force field.
Amazing controllability, stability, and maneuverability in the Vans RV-8 as Ken is expertly showing you here this afternoon. Ken born and currently lives in the Cincinnati, Ohio area. He's been flying for over 38 years with more than 15,000 hours. And it shows right here. Watch this precision. Look at that, Oshkosh. Come on, Oshkosh. What do you think about Ken Reeder and Redline Air Shows so far? In addition to being a current airline pilot, Ken is an avid aircraft builder, having completed 5. Yes, that's 5. That's all the fingers on one of your hands. All right, Vans RV-8 custom modified aircraft. He's also a multi-engine flight instructor in land and seaplanes, and is also an aerobatic instructor, as you can see him demonstrating right here.
Brother, older, bold enough
as Ken makes his way down the 45-degree down line here, you may often have seen him flying along with his son Austin in the Red Line Air Show performance. The aircraft that they fly, Ken and Austin have built together, and they perform in these aircraft from the Vans RV family of aircraft and built by Ken expertly. No significant modifications for additional air show performance, but they are absolutely lighting it up here at Oshkosh this afternoon. If you haven't gotten that wonderful memory yet, it's time to get your camera out as Ken climbs high and to the right. He'll roll it over on its back and bring it back to show center for you, ladies and gentlemen. Get your cameras out. You're going to want to capture this pass, this memory with the perfect backdrop of the Wisconsin sky right here.
So good, so good. I got to eat it.
Well, that inverted pass is Ken's tribute to you here at Oshkosh. He wants to thank his proud sponsors, Hartzell Propeller and Hartzell Engine Technologies, JB Aircraft Engine Service, EarthX Batteries, Goodyear Tires, Behringer Brakes, Oregon Aero Hooker Harness, Avstar Fuel Systems, Pacific Oil Cooler Services, Wheelan Engineering, Flightline Interiors, and Softy Parachutes. Ladies and gentlemen, a huge round of applause for Red Line Air Shows. Well, ladies and gentlemen, right before we move to our next act, take a look down to the left as you face the runway, taking the runway. That is the F-22 Raptor of the United States Air Force Air Combat Command F-22 Raptor demo team. In the cockpit, the demo pilot and captain and commander of that team, that's Captain Nick Letourneau, call sign Laz. Now, I want you to look real close as we turn the mic over to Danny for the next performer. Laz is going to depart, but when he gets to the end of the runway, watch what he does. If I know Laz, he's going to stand it on the tail and fly like an angel straight upstairs. Here he is from the left, the F-22 Raptor, one last departure for Oshkosh 2026.
And then after Laz departs, in a fine fashion, I should say, in an Oshkosh fashion, we'll go back in time to World War II and see what Top Gun fighters were like as Jim Tobel, call sign Torque, flies his Navy and Marine Corps Korean War hero. So a lot of the new, I should say, is the growl of the old, from the jet engine to the roar and rumble of an 18-cylinder piston-powered Pratt & Whitney R2800 cubic inch engine, producing 2,600 horsepower. So here's a little lesson in the old and the new. Change in technology, change in engine propulsion. Top Gun fighter of today and a Top Gun fighter of the World War II and Korean era. Okay, from the Air Boss, we just heard that Laz is cleared for takeoff. It'll be low and to your left. How will you know he's on the takeoff roll? Your ears will tell you. You can hear the jet engine noise low and to the left. Eyes and cameras, ready? And the cameraman says, action. And now from the brand new, departing off to our right. Look low and to the left again as we take you back to the World War II era and the Korean War era. As Jim Torque Tobel flies a F-4U Corsair, one of the finest fighters ever built. This airplane was nicknamed the Korean War Hero for its remarkable performance as a ground attack bomber in the Korean War. The aircraft taking off low and to your left served on the USS Boxer and the USS Valley Forge aircraft carriers, making her one of the very few Korean War Corsairs still flying today. So the sound of jets off to your right, the sound of a piston-powered, propeller-driven aircraft of World War II in Korea on your left. See how things have changed. They were both top guns.
What you're about to experience serves as a living tribute to the brave warriors who have flown and fought with the F-4U Corsair. Ladies and gentlemen, we now present the Corsair known as the Korean War Hero.
We are poor little lambs who have lost our
As we await the arrival of Fort Tobel and the Korean War Hero, I'll direct you to a recently released movie. It was 2022 about the Korean War and Corsairs, based on a true book, a true story of the first black naval aviator who happened to be flying Corsairs in the Korean War, and his wingman. Devotion is the name of that, and there was no computer-generated Corsairs in that movie. They were all the real thing at the request of the director. He wanted real airplanes and real pilots. So I think about 6 or 7 of the owners and operators across the U.S. were selected for that movie. It is a great watch for you. Devotion is the movie. Check it out. Based on real life. Jim's going to start off his routine that combines combat maneuvers with air show or aerobatic maneuvers. We'll watch for the first presentation. Jim coming in will be an example of the barrel roll. In this case, he will coordinate with a target altitude, a target heading. Then he will change everything from the heading to the altitude to inverted flight, to regain those original values at the end of the maneuver. Watch this. Ah, the sweet sound of that powerful engine. With the longest running production cycle of any piston engine fighter, the Corsair is a legend of U.S. naval aviation. Production reached over 12,000 units, including those built by our good buddies at Goodyear and the Marine Corps attack variant. Jim coming back in now for the roll. The Corsair is capable of speeds of over 470 miles an hour. Speed comes from a giant 18-cylinder Pratt & Whitney 2,800 cubic inch engine, developing awesome 2,600 horsepower. Eyes right, Torque Tobel, Korean War Hero. Park in the quiet air today. What a sweet sound. The Korean War Hero is a single engine, carrier-borne fighter bomber a range of 500 miles, and an altitude capability of a very impressive 41,000 feet. Now, despite the advent of the jet, the Corsair remained a major naval fighter well into the 1950s. Armament for the Corsair, impressive 6 50 caliber machine guns, up to 4,000 pounds of external stores, combination of awesome arsenal, speed, power, and maneuverability made the Chance-Fought design a favorite among the warriors who flew and maintained them. Tobel and the half roll. The Korean War Hero is the pinnacle of the Corsair design that his predecessors flew in World War II. It was there that the Corsair made its first major mark, racked up an impressive score of aerial victories against Japan's best fighters. The slow motion roll. You'll notice the inverted gull wing design of the aircraft. This was mandated by the huge propeller needed to drive the aircraft. With a diameter of over 13 feet, with a standard design propeller, would have struck that is the deck of the aircraft carrier. The wings were gulled down at the fuselage to allow for heavier, sturdier landing gear to take the punishment of a carrier operation. Landing gear is unique as well. In order to have a wing with a high-speed capability, the wing was designed so that the landing gear pulls some 90 degrees and away. Setting up for the 4-point hesitation roll. Airplane flown today by our buddy Jim Tobel, call sign Tort. He and his father, the late Joe Tobel, began a long and lovingly restoration back in 1981. Today, Jim Tobel, our pilot, operates Korean War Hero at air shows just like this one, all across the United States, to remind us of the sacrifices made by the veterans who flew them and fought alongside them. Built for war and flown today as a reminder of our veterans' service, this tribute isn't designed to glorify war, but simply remember the staggering sacrifices made by so many to protect our freedom. Photo pass coming up. It will be low. The wing towards us will be down towards the ground. So I'll direct your sights to the aircraft when it comes in. You'll be able to take a photo shot inside the office of Jim Tobel, and that is the cockpit. It's called the Banana Pass to your right. All eyes and cameras on the airplane. Setting up now for the high speed and finale pass. For more information on this aircraft and on Jim Tobel, visit KoreanWarHero.com. There you'll find photos and even aerial photos taken during actual combat missions. You'll also find a lot of detailed information on the Chance-Fought Corsair and the history of the remarkable aircraft. All waiting for you at KoreanWarHero.com. High-speed pass. Watch and listen to the music. In closing, Torque would like to invite you to visit his Facebook page and share your videos and images from today's show. Tim says, let's keep this beautiful flying memorial, let's not keep this flying memorial a secret. Let's spread word by posting your pictures and telling your friends about this awesome piece of American history. Going to your right now on the landing. As the aircraft touches down, the tail wheel makes its way down to the runway. Visibility forward of Jim Tobel is lost. Blocked by that big round radial engine, he is looking out the left and right side of the canopy, keeping equal distance of concrete on one side as he does the other. In the air and on the ground, expertly demonstrated in the Transport F4U Corsair for us today. A big round of applause for our pilot rolling out now, Jim Torque Tobel, and the Korean War hero. Give a Sunday round of applause for Tobe.
Well, Danny, the action just continues, one right after another. As we said at the top, we have an action-packed show for you, and taking to the runway right now is the Jet Waco with Jared Lindemann. Right after that, we will see Britt Lincoln in her extra 330 SC and Skip Stewart in Prometheus. But if you have not seen a Jet Waco before, well, not a lot of people have, because it is a combination. It is like the ultimate experimental aircraft. We've taken a conventionally powered Waco and put a jet engine under the fuselage. Listen to the sound as Jared Lindemann gets ready to show off the Jet Waco. Jared Lindemann in the Jet Waco, the Black Rifle Coffee Company Jet Waco, to be exact. You can see the incredible climb performance of that airplane. Now, a normal Waco will climb, but just not like it does with that jet engine bolted underneath the fuselage. Jared is a highly accomplished aerobatic pilot, and he's also the owner of Rad Aerosports, a company that is becoming part of the airshow industry, flying the Jet Waco. It is a taper wing Waco modified with the Learjet engine. I love that sound. As it comes by you, you hear the radial engine out front making noise, and then as it goes by, you hear the jet exhaust as well. The aircraft goes from 0 to 250 miles per hour and can climb to 15,000 feet per minute. There just is no other aircraft in the world that combines a jet engine with a radial-powered engine to produce the sound that you're hearing today, not only at Oshkosh, but at air shows across the country. Now Jared pulls up into a little hammerhead. So you saw how he did that. He just kind of went up until he ran out of airspeed and then kicked the rudder and came back down. A little later in this act, he's going to hover. And when you see the hover compared to the hammerhead, I think you will be amazed. Couple of nice snap rolls at the top of that loop. For this air show season, Jared and Rad Aerosports are partners with Black Rifle Coffee Company, America's premium veteran-founded coffee brand, as the official title sponsor of the Jet Waco. The Jet Waco now flies on BRCC colors across the nation, reaching an estimated 1.5 million attendees. The partnership is a natural convergence. Two American-made brands built on grit, precision, and an uncompromising commitment to the veteran community. Jared serves as a boots-on-the-ground ambassador for the Black Rifle Coffee Company at every aviation event he attends. Jared is a Midwest native, a fourth-generation aviator, and his love of flight runs deep. He's been an agricultural pilot since he began flying and has spent more than 25 years spraying crops to help feed the world. He's also built a custom multispectral camera system for aircraft remote sensing in agriculture and has logged more than 12,000 hours across many different types of aircraft, including the Jet Waco. Kyle Franklin was here earlier in the week to talk about Jared's performance. Of course, Kyle's father, Jimmy Franklin, built the first Jet Waco. And Kyle was describing how the Jet Waco actually has two different throttles, one for the conventional engine, one for the jet engine. And Jared has to regulate the jet engine quite a bit to make sure he doesn't overstress the wings on the airplane. Kyle also mentioned that if Jared was to leave the jet engine running at full power, he would have approximately 14 minutes worth of flight time before he ran the jet out of gas. So for those pilots in the audience, you know how difficult it can be sometimes to use the stick and the rudder and the throttle. Well, now imagine adding an extra throttle.
You're listening to EAA Radio, 96.5 FM, 1210 AM, and online at eaaradio.net.
Green Bay Austin Straubel International Airport is proud to sponsor EAA Radio. They look forward to visiting with you in Hangar C while you're here. GRB is just 50 minutes north of Oshkosh. 2 FBOs with 280,000 feet of hangar space, fuel, and maintenance on site. 5 major airlines serve 11 nonstop routes, and all major car rental brands. Enjoy EAA and explore all that Northeast Wisconsin has to offer. FlyGRB.com.
Through Rad Aerosports' Rad Riders program, Jared partners with the Jimmy Graham Foundation to connect veterans with aviation and amplify their stories. The program offers exhilarating flights and creates authentic storytelling opportunities that align directly with Black Rifle Coffee Company's commitment to the veteran community. And Jared is also honored to share the Jet Waco with us as a tribute to the great Jimmy Franklin, who built the very first Jet Waco. Putting the power into that jet engine again. And showing off the incredible climb rate on the Jet Waco. The Waco itself was a very popular airplane during the golden age of air racing back in the 30s. And it also saw its share of action at air shows and barnstorming, but never quite like this. Coming in from the right, Jared Lindemann and the Jet Waco. You can hear how he's regulating the jet engine as he was climbing. You could hear the power come back on that the jet, but not on the radial out front. Completing the 4-point hesitation roll, giving you a good look at the Black Rifle Coffee Company logo on the top wing of the Jet Waco. Building up some speed, coming back into show center. Listen for the flying wires. They'll make a little whining sound as he goes by. Red Aerosports is building a brand that will be known for extraordinary aircraft and extraordinary performances that inspire, and a mission to create the next generation of aviators who understand not only how to fly, but the science behind the flight. Here we go for the hover. Smoke is off. Now, you've seen other aircraft do the hover maneuver, but Jared could probably stay up there all day, or at least until the jet engine runs out of fuel. Simply riding on the pure power of that Learjet engine. Jared's got a pretty good view of the Oshkosh Convention site. All right, Jared just called the air boss. He's going to make one more pass. Chances are this will be a photo pass to give you a chance to get a picture of the Jet Waco as it comes on by. And as he does that, Jared would like to thank his sponsors. Of course, the Black Rifle Coffee Company, his title sponsor of the Jet Waco. Hartzell Propellers, Lift Aviation, Rex Vaughn at Tulsa Aircraft Engines. Excel Turbines, North Valley Aircraft, AC Air Technology, Softy Parachutes, and EarthX Batteries. Jared's now been cleared to land. He's going to land on runway 27, but just give us a big round of applause for Jared Lindemann and the Rad Aerosports Jet Waco, made possible by the Black Rifle Coffee Company. Now, Jared's going to circle up there for just a couple of minutes, just to cool things down. And with that, we will pick up our next act.
Steve, that was amazing.
It certainly was.
That was phenomenal. That was really, golly. And talk about a change of pace. Something equally as exciting and invigorating, but exactly the same, only different.
That's right. We're waiting for Britt Lincoln to come in, and she's going to be flying in her extra 330SC. High and to your left, diving down into the aerobatic box. Please give a warm Oshkosh welcome to Britt Lincoln. Fourth-generation pilot, born and raised on a ranch in Montana. That is where her aviation journey began. Flying runs deep in the Lincoln family. Her great-grandfather and grandfather were both crop dusters, and her grandfather took Britt on her very first airplane ride when she was 6 days. That's right, 6 days old. Of course, she learned to fly from that same grandfather on the grass strip in front of their family home. She earned her pilot certificate in 2017 and added her instrument, commercial, multi-engine, and commercial seaplane ratings over the course of the next year. Before aerobatics, she developed a passion for mountain and backcountry flying through the western United States. Britt discovered aerobatics in 2019 and immediately fell in love with the precision, discipline, and challenge of competition flying. Snap rolls on the down line. Not only did she discover aerobatics, she became quite the competitor. She's competed in more than 20 aerobatic contests, winning 17 of them. She's the 2023 U.S. National Advanced Aerobatic Champion, the second woman to ever earn that title, and the first in more than 40 years. In addition to being an aerobatic champion, she's earned 3 World Aerobatic Champion medals as a member of the U.S. Advanced Aerobatic Team, including an individual silver medal. Britt now competes at the highest level of the sport as a member of the U.S. Unlimited Aerobatic Team, representing the United States at the World Aerobatic Competitions, and this is her first time appearing at EAA AirVenture Oshkosh. Well, we're going to try to go to the cockpit here and check in on Britt Lincoln and see how things are going in that extra. As you can see, her performance combines the precision of world-class competition aerobatics with the excitement of airshow flying. She's got some very crisp vertical uplines, which are indicative of being a competitor. Perfectly timed hard stops, gyroscopic tumbles, and the graceful flowing maneuvers, all flown just a couple of hundred feet above the ground. You can see those precision rolls on the way up. And she pulls over, rolls back, and back to inverted. Coming down the other side, a couple of snap rolls on the way down, just for good measure. As I mentioned, you can see that precise 45-degree down that is so indicative of aerobatic competitions. So when we ask Britt why she flies, she says aerobatics isn't just about being a pilot, it's about becoming an aviator. She says every flight is an opportunity to become a better pilot, learning precision, discipline, and complete mastery of the airplane. Hi, Britt. Yep, we've got you down here. How are things going in the cockpit?
Hey, this is wonderful. What a beautiful day in Oshkosh AirVenture 2026. I hope you're all having a great time. I'm having so much fun up here looking down at all your smiley faces. We have beautiful weather. It's such an honor to be here. I want to give a big thank you to my sponsor, Champion Aerospace, for supporting me and allowing me to be here. And of course, for all of you fans and the wonderful people and volunteers that make this the world's best air show happen. I want to thank our service members and all of the people who serve this country. God bless America.
And we want to say welcome to EAA AirVenture Oshkosh 2026. Britt Lincoln. And that hammerhead that Britt just performed for you, one of her favorite maneuvers. When she's not flying aerobatics, she enjoys working on airplanes, continues to fly backcountry in Montana. She also enjoys cooking and scuba diving, a wide variety of interests.
Ain't it fun?
A little bit about the Extra 330 SC. It's regarded as one of the world's premier unlimited aerobatic aircraft. Weighs in at just 1,280 pounds empty. It's powered by a Lycoming AEIO 580 and approximately 340 horsepower. With an incredible power-to-weight ratio and symmetrical wings, the Extra is capable of vertical performance and rapid roll rates. During today's performance, she will experience everything from plus 10 Gs to as much as minus 8 Gs, forces that can make her body feel 10 times heavier than normal. There, she shows us the incredible roll rates on the Extra. All right, Britt is climbing up for some altitude now. She's going to come back in for one more maneuver. Now watch very closely. I told you before that she enjoys the hammerhead. Well, so did her grandfather. In fact, her grandfather was the first person she took for an aerobatic ride. And the first time that they did a hammerhead together, she said he laughed all the way up and all the way down. And every time they flew together and she would fly a hammerhead, he enjoyed it as much as the first time. As she kicks the rudder over and comes back towards show center, Britt's grandfather died recently, and she is flying today, not only that hammerhead, but the entire performance to her grandfather. Ladies and gentlemen, as she heads off to runway 927, please give us a warm Oshkosh welcome and recognition for aerobatic champion Britt Lincoln. Rob, what's coming up next?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to turn up the adrenaline, turn up the energy, and we are going to have pure excitement in front of you momentarily. Skip Stewart is taking the runway. He will be airborne momentarily. Ladies and gentlemen, from the right, this is Skip Stewart. The song says the crazy train is up and rolling right here high and to your left, ladies and gentlemen. Skip Stewart in that hot rod of an airplane that he built himself. His aircraft is named Prometheus, which means forethought. Prometheus was a rebel titan who displeased Zeus by taking from him and giving to the people the earth the power of fire. Watch here as Skip replicates that energy from the left. The name matches the paint design with its hot rod style flame job and matches his act with its snarling, flashing maneuvers and Skip's forethought in the crowd-pleasing routine. You see him high and to the left. He lets the energy bait, and there he is, ladies and gentlemen. Tumbles, twists, wingovers, and upside down. This is Skip Stewart. The Prometheus aircraft you see in front of you is part S2S. It's part Skip Stewart. Skip custom built it all himself. It started life as an S2S Pitts. He modified it to become the airshow machine he envisioned. It looks like an American hot rod. The horsepower was increased to 400. The big three-bladed prop reminds you of an oversized racing slicks, and the landing gear makes it look fast just sitting on the ground. This aircraft screams street ride. Watch right here. Skip and Prometheus. Wow, come on, Oshkosh. He is ringing it out for you here today. How about Skip Stewart? This aircraft, when he goes full speed, full uphill, he can do 4,000 feet per minute. His max level speed is well in excess of 200 miles an hour that he just hit right there as he climbs into the vertical high into your left. He now pulls back on the stick, reacquires show center, tumbles the aircraft with a few snap rolls on the 45 down line, ends up inverted, and back to you right here at show center. And there is Skip's version of the world's tiniest loop. And now he's going to hover the aircraft right here, ladies and gentlemen. The high alpha pass, roll to the left, accelerate downhill. Only done by Skip Stewart and Prometheus.
On the track, can I beat in a flag? Nobody's gonna get me on another rag. So look at me now, I'm just making my pay. I'm trying to push you like
As you can see here, Skip is an amazing performer. He's the 2013 recipient of the Bill Barber Award for Showmanship and the Art Scholl Award in 2015. He has proven he is one of the most entertaining airshow pilots you will ever see. With over 11,000 hours of flight experience, he's an airline transport pilot. He's flown the 727, currently flies an MD-11 as a captain, and he's also a certified flight instructor. He's owned and operated an aerobatic flight school, and he's earned gold medals in regional and larger aerobatic competitions. Ladies and gentlemen, watch here as he comes from the right. We now have ribbons on the runway. This is Skip Stewart showing you that excitement, showing you that speed, and let's see if he cuts it right here. Oh, he's underneath it, ladies and gentlemen. Can you believe that? Skip Stewart underneath the ribbons as he goes by. Now, as he comes back around, he's getting a better look at those ribbons, judging his speed, judging his altitude. Let's watch as he comes by the next time. There are 3 different sets of ribbons if you haven't picked that up. One at show center, one to the south or your air show right, and one to your left, air show left. Now watch Skip as he sets up. Listen to this wonderful race car engine howl as he comes in. This is the hot rod. Skip Stewart, he's upside down. Here we go. Come on, Oshkosh. How cool is that? 3 ribbon cuts in a row, upside down, but we're not done yet, ladies and gentlemen. Little bit of a slip on his way. The aircraft accelerates. Here he is at the center ribbon. Oh, he's underneath that one. Let's see what he does on the south. He's underneath that one as well. One more time around. Look at that outside turn. Amazing performance here from Skip Stewart. The energy just continues to build. Get your cameras out. You don't want to miss this. Once in a lifetime Oshkosh experience right here. Prometheus and the ribbon cut. Under the first one. Power off. Over the second one. Little knife edge flight for you, and he's going to cut the third one with the knife edge cut. Oh, come on, Oshkosh. That is absolutely phenomenal. Now Skip sets up to come back by and take care of these remaining 2 ribbons. He'd like to thank his sponsors, Lycon Engines, Whirlwind Propellers, Sarasota Avionics, PPG Champion, Hartzell Engine Tech, Concord Batteries, Behringer Wheel and Brake, B&C, Pacific Oil Coolers, and Softy Parachutes. Watch here, another beautiful photo opportunity. Knife edge ribbon cut from the left. He got one. Here we go. Oh, there we go, Oshkosh. That is Skip Stewart Air Shows. No one else does it. Brings the excitement, brings the energy that Skip does. What do you think, Oshkosh? How about old Skip Stewart here on a Sunday afternoon? Well, don't lose track of him. He's still got the smoke on. He's still got a lot of adrenaline running in that cockpit. I can hear him talking to the air boss, and he says, "Boss, I've got a little bit more. Let's give the fans what they want." Watch here as he's hovering this beautiful Prometheus aircraft that he hand-built. The hot rod in the sky. Who thought they'd see a biplane hover at Oshkosh? Well, now you have. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Skip Stewart. And he turns it around. The music matches his energy. Let's watch and listen. Watch Skip come by for his signature wave. One last great photo opportunity right here, ladies and gentlemen, from the right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that wraps it up for Skip Stewart here this afternoon and for his 2026 appearance here at Oshkosh. We're so honored to have him here. He brings the energy and the excitement. And, Steve, I don't know about you, my heart's racing right at the moment. That was cool.
That was very cool. So you know what we're going to do next then? I mean, if you're feeling the pulse in your chest.
I think I got to sit down if it's going to get any more exciting. I think we're going to do something totally different.
We are. We're going to slow things down just a little bit, but not completely. Bob Carlton is going to take over in the Foxjet sailplane. So he'll be flying a little slower than Skip, but still a fantastic performance, and I think you are going to really enjoy it. So stand by. He's spooling up the engine on the sailplane, and they're getting ready to get into position and hold. We've got a couple of departures that are going to take place first. We've been very honored to have the Flying Bulls DC-6 and P-38 here all week. They came last Sunday, departing today, all the way from Austria, just to be a part of EAA AirVenture Oshkosh 2026.
And, Steve, I heard them say in the briefing this morning this was the first time they've been in the U.S.,
Yes.
let alone just at Oshkosh. So what an honor for us here at Oshkosh to have them here as their first appearance in the United States.
And they also said in the briefing that they've met so many wonderful people and made so many friends, including what they feel will be lifelong friends. And that's the magic of Oshkosh. It's always wonderful to look at the airplanes, but it's really the people that bring us together. And that was something that our founder, Paul Poberezny, often said. And it holds true here at Oshkosh 2026.
Well, Steve, I see the DC-6 taking the runway now. It's going to be an exciting departure. So, folks, as Danny Clisham, who's celebrating 50 years here at Oshkosh, always says, if you still got film in your phone, get it out. You're going to want to capture this memory of the Flying Bulls departing right here from the left.
You're tuned to EAA Radio, 96.5 FM, 1210 AM, and online at eaaradio.net.
Green Bay Austin Straubel International Airport is proud to sponsor EAA Radio. They look forward to visiting with you in Hangar C while you're here.